So we're continuing our discussion on custom Ajax callbacks, and we've just shown the various callbacks that take place by looking at the grid running under Firefox using the Firebug plugin. If you're not using Firebug in Firefox, you really should download that. It's a free add-in, and it's invaluable for anyone who's trying to understand how Ajax applications work. So if we actually examine these callbacks, here's the first callback that took place, and you can see here's what got sent back to the server was a generic Ajax callback, and we were calling the xbasic function delete with prompt. Then if we look at the next Ajax callback that took place, we were doing another generic Ajax callback, this time calling the do delete xbasic function, and then finally this callback basically was a page navigate, which is in effect how the grid.refresh method operates. So let's go back now to Alpha 5 and take a look at how this second button works. So let's go here and look at the definition of the button. And again, this button is just a simple Ajax callback, this time calling a function called delete with prompt, and again we've turned on compute current row data. So let's go and look at this function delete with prompt. So we'll open it up and we'll skip over low level delete because we've discussed that one, and get now to delete with prompt. And delete with prompt is essentially identical to this function that we've already discussed in detail, low level delete, excepting that it stops before actually doing the deletion. So you can see what delete with prompt does is it opens up the connection, and it does a count query, and then if there are more than 5 records, if there are less than 5 records, then it sends back the message saying that you can't delete. But if there are more than 5 records, then it needs to go back to the browser and display a prompt to the user asking the user to confirm. So this function needs to be creating JavaScript and sending this JavaScript back to the client, to the browser, where the browser can then display the message. So the way that JavaScript prompts for confirmation is by using the confirm function. So this is a built-in JavaScript function. So the confirm function takes a prompt, so OK to delete, and then stores the result in the return value, which in this case is called answer, which will either be true or false. So if answer is true, then we know that the user in fact did want to delete, and so we need to go now and make another callback. If the answer is false, then the user did not want to delete, and so we can just send a message if we want, or we could leave this out saying the record was not deleted. So this is the standard JavaScript way of doing an if statement. It's if open paren and then your logical expression, and then in curly brackets your true condition, else, and then in curly brackets your false condition. So if the answer is true, then we want to do an Ajax callback, and we want to call another function called do delete. Now do delete is again very similar to this low level delete, excepting that it eliminates all of the first part where we're just establishing whether the record is eligible to delete, and it only includes this last part which actually does the delete. So you can see here is my do delete function, and you can see it only does the actual deletion of the record followed by the refresh. So the next obvious question is, how did I know that the syntax for doing the Ajax callback is this? So let's pause now and pick it up in the next video, and we'll discuss how you can easily determine that.